Alright, P5S. Let's learn the fight.
Guys, and welcome to a Hector Lecture Guide to the fight P5S. This is Proto-Carbuncle. Be aware
Proto-Carbuncle.
that there's a mechanic going throughout this whole fight. You'll see immediately that there is a satiety bar that starts at 100 and will slowly tick down over time. This is only going to matter for a single mechanic about halfway through the fight, and so you can safely ignore this. Positions you'll need for this fight include spread position.
Okay, so I am Dancer, so I am R1 or R2. I don't know which one yet, but I will be one of the R1, so we don't need to worry about the greens and blues or the melees.
At standard clock positions, I recommend having your healers east-west. You also are going to need spread positions for a later mechanic that are going to be relative to these larger poison
so
circles.
we go in the
I recommend having
corner.
your melees getting the uptime spot, and from left to right facing inward, spreading tank, healer, ranged.
Okay, so spread,
You need
we're
light
going to
parties.
corners.
You need tower priorities. These are tanks and melees taking inner towers, healer and ranged. I recommend partnering one up with each. You can have healers
the
partnered with healers,
outside.
though. And then just making sure that they know which towers they're taking and which ones they adjust into.
So
In
far,
my
so
case,
good.
we have H1 and R1 start northwest and look counterclockwise. We have H2 and R2 look northeast and look clockwise until they find a tower.
Okay, so we start...
There's also towers that are going to
Start
be
at
in
1
inner
or
position. These
4.
are always fixed.
Wait, sorry. So if we start at 4, we go to 3 or 2. So if they're at 1 and 2, I would go to 2. Or if I'm R2, if I'm 1, go to 1, 2, or 3. Okay.
Northeast, southwest,
Got it.
and so you just need a set position where they're going to.
So either highest number or
The fight
lowest
starts
number.
with Sonic Howl. This is a light hitting raid wide, but still mitigates. Ruby Glow is both a raid wide that hits for moderate damage and also spawns a set of reflective barriers. The first Ruby Glow pattern is going to divide the arena into quadrants.
This is like normal
And the
mode.
boss is going to cast Topaz Stones. You're always going to get 2 magical stones and 2 poison stones. Now, there are 2 possible patterns here. One involves there being a square that has no stone. That is the safe spot. Have everybody go to that corner, hide, and while the magic ones explode, making their whole quadrant unsafe, the poison ones grow in size and you're far enough away.
Okay.
The other possibility that you could have for this is that every quadrant has a stone. In this case, find the poison that's near in the middle, go behind that one. Once again, the safe spot is in the 4 corner for this one. For this one, you need to be careful to make sure that if you're slow
easy.
finding the safe spot, that you go around the poison puddle, because stepping in that gives you about 15 seconds of a pretty spicy dot. So you don't want to be in that even for a second. Immediately after this happens, the boss is going to cast Venomous Mass, and you need to have your current main tank go away from the group as they're about to get hit with a cleaving circle AoE tank buster.
So stay in the
When this
corner.
hits, anybody that's within range of them
After
takes
that-
huge damage and also gets 2 debuffs.
At least
One's a
don't run
poison,
towards
which
the main
just does
tank.
damage over time, and the other is a physical vuln up, so it requires a tank swap. This will always be followed by Toxic Crunch, which is another hard-hitting tank buster that gives a poison debuff, but this one does not cleave.
Okay.
After
Yeah,
this, I recommend
there's a
getting your
lot
groups
in
near
these
to their
fights.
relative tower positions, as you're about to get 4 towers.
These are not
2 of these will spawn inwards.
easy.
2 of these will spawn on outer intercardinals. Have your group adjust near to the...
Okay, so if I'm R1, nothing at 4, so we count down, so I would go to 3. If I'm R2, start at 1. If it's not at 1, check 2. If it's not at 2, check 3.
towers,
Okay.
but don't step in it, because as soon as you do, you get a Toxicosis debuff that does damage over time. The less time you
don't
spend
go
in
in
it,
immediately.
the less of a tick, the less ticks of damage you get. Stand near to it, and you're going to see pink circles count around. There's 10 of these in total. When you get to about 7 or 8, you should jump in. It's
gonna be hard for me to remember.
Damage. If you're very tight on timing, you can jump in at 10 and still soak the tower, but take no ticks, but it's not really worth it. You get another one of the tank buster combos, so Venomous Mass. Have your other tank provoke, and take their Toxic Crunch with cooldowns. Healers, you really need to help with the bleed. Between the bleed and the auto attacks, these can sometimes hit for 40k per tick in day 1 gear, so really watch your tank's health. Next up is Ruby Glow again, and the second Ruby Glow combo has the arena being divided diagonally down the middle. 2 Topaz Stones will spawn 1 magic and 1 poison. But for right now, focus on the boss. The boss is about to perform a brand new move called Double Rush.
Oh, that's gonna,
Double Rush, first the
I'm
boss
gonna mess that
dashes
up.
to a corner. This dash can be dodged by being behind the boss. And then immediately afterwards dashes to the other diagonal corner. That one can't be dodged, will cause huge damage and a knockback, but can be knockback immune. Focus on getting behind the boss for the first dash, mitigating up, pop knockback immunity, and then dodge the crystal is the second thing to worry about. Sometimes you won't have to move because the magic crystal is on the same side as the boss dashes to, but in this case you have to move across as the second dash is happening. You can knockback immune this or ride the knockback. Either way, make sure you're getting knocked back or standing away from the poison so you don't get that toxicosis debuff. There's a Sonic Howl Raid Wide to heal up and mitigate
I think I get that.
And pop your mitigation late on this so that it can also cover the next Ruby Glow Raid Wide. Once again, for Ruby Glow 3, the arena gets split into quadrants. This comes Topaz Cluster.
Okay, so quadrants, towers, half, quadrants.
You're about to get 4 sets of magic crystals. 2, then 2, then 3, then 3. And as a result, the amount of safe squares each time is limited to 2, the 2, and then only 1 and 1 again. But there's a pattern to how this works. The first Topaz clusters will spawn on opposite intercardinals, so opposite corners, which means that you can all call odds or evens as your first safe spot. The next set will always spawn on the other 2 squares. So it'll always be odds to evens or evens to odds. You just need to focus on the first set that drops. Afterwards, 3 crystals are going to spawn, and you need to focus very carefully on where this one is, because there's only one safe spot. But as soon as you found that safe spot, from this point onwards, you can do all the other final safe spot is always going to be directly opposite it.
Okay, so
we start
odds and evens,
on odds,
then
we
the
dodge
first,
evens.
then the first, with opposite
We go to
corners.
2, which was the safe spot for 3, the third set. And then we always go diagonally opposite. That's always...
So it'll be like 4, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1.
the dodge for the full
Something
set.
like that. Okay. 1, 2, 2.
If your group finds it a little bit tricky to be able to see this, you might want to move those 1, 2, 3, 4 waymarks in. It makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on. Next, there's another Tank Buster combo. Mitigate, heal, watch out for the bleed debuff. And when all of this is over, you want to get your boss facing true north, and you want to be in your spread positions. You can have your current tank north, or you can have fixed positions.
Okay,
It's
so
up to
we're
you. You're about to get one of 2 mechanics.
one of
Either
the
Venom
front
Squall
inner
or Venom
cardinals.
Squall. Venom Squall is dealt with by first spreading, baiting puddles middle, and then stacking on healers. Here's the spread. Go middle to bait those puddles. As soon as you see them go out, note that the stacks go off very late, so hang tight, wait for those to go off. Don't move early. Venom Surge is the exact opposite order. First, the light party stacks, then go middle to bait your puddles. Finally, go out to your spread positions. If you've survived all of this, the boss is going to now again use one of 2 moves.
Squall is spread inside small party. Surge is small party inside spread.
Claw to tail
Okay.
hits in front 6 times before hitting behind once. So go to the back, wait for 6 hits. It goes 5 fast and then 1 delayed. 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 1, and then you go across. As the last hit hits behind. Tail to claw, as you can guess, is the exact opposite of that. Go to the front for 1 hit and then move behind as the boss will claw 6 times in front. The next mechanic is the hard one. This is the one that many will describe as the Party Finder killer. Devour's about to happen. See, that satiety bar has been
So
ticking
I
down
know
over
about
time,
this
and
one.
it's about to hit 0. When it happens, the boss starts to cast Devour. Just like in normal mode, you're going to see a bunch of these blue triangle symbols and 1 red bite mark. This is about to show the pattern the boss is about to jump to. The bad news is that it's much more complicated than normal mode. The good news is there's only 2 patterns. There are 2 different maneuvers that the boss can make, and as long as you know each of these dodges, you'll be fine. Be warned, if you get caught by a single one of these AoEs, you are guaranteed to die, and it makes it very difficult to survive the follow-up mechanic, which really is best done with at least 8 people alive. Here's one of the patterns, circle pattern. When discussing this, I'm going to be focusing on pizza slices. These little yellow things that you might have noticed are on the ground, because I find it much easier, instead of focusing on what the boss is, focus on these pizza slices. For circle pattern, from the initial part where we start, you're going to move 2 pizza slices clockwise and then 5 counterclockwise. This is the starting position, relative. Now I'm going to show you just a trace of what this looks like. First, here's the boss's bounces.
Okay, so circle
You
pattern.
dodge as soon as you do the first, and now we do our 5 counterclockwise.
8, 11.
That's what the group's going to be doing together.
4.
Here's what it looks like slowed down with the jumps involved. So the boss's teeth moves around. You see that right about now is when you can see that it's circle pattern. And then it goes back and it does a counterclockwise circle. And we're going to try to stay ahead of that. So the boss becomes untargetable during this. Don't worry about your uptime, but stay near middle as it makes the dodges much quicker. First explosion goes off, and as soon as that happens, we start our 2 clockwise. 1 pizza slice and a 2nd pizza slice. The boss has done its 3rd jump right about now. Here comes the 4th jump. And this is the cue for us to head back the other way. You can count 5, or you can just sprint and keep going counterclockwise, at least 5. But as long as you've made it 5 counterclockwise and you stay ahead of these explosions, you've done the mechanic. You're good to go. So that's circle strat.
That's going to be so
The other
hard.
possible strategy pattern that you can see is the zigzag pattern. Now, the zigzag pattern, instead, we're going to start sort of diagonally opposites. And we're going to do 5 counterclockwise, 2 clockwise. Here's where you want to start. The boss is going to start the zigzag pattern. You can see it's not making a circle. That's your cue to go big counterclockwise and then start to go 2 clockwise back. Here's what it looks like if we slow it down. So the zigzag pattern right here is where you can realize it's not doing a circle. It's zigzagging instead. The boss is going to jump
So
around.
start at 5 o'clock. Go counter.
And now here come the jumps. Wait this time. Unlike the first one, for circle pattern, you can move immediately. For this one, wait for the 2nd explosion and then start to follow the 2nd explosion. This is where we're doing our big counterclockwise movement.
Counterclockwise all the way.
And you got to get all the way over here. 5 pizza slices
10.
before that jump happens. And now we're going to go back
And
to
back to
clockwise. It's a very
2.
small clockwise movement. If you've managed to survive all this, you may have noticed that throughout this, there have been occasional bits where you've been getting a poison debuff. That's because during the jumps, the boss spawns those towers that we had earlier, always in at north, east, south, and west. I don't recommend focusing on them during Devour. Wait until you've done the dodge, and once you're comfy with the dodge, then start to look at the towers, because when the boss has finished its jump, these have actually already ticked down to 7. You've only got 3 seconds to get in these. We need to be very particular with this. We're going to go to our set towers, except our tanks are not going to go in. We need to feed the boss. If you don't feed the boss when satiety is at 0, by giving them an ad that spawns when one of these towers is not soaked, the boss enrages and it's a wipe. So we're going to have 3 people soak their towers, and 1 group is going to deliberately not soak. You can, if you want to, have a single tank take this the AoE that's about to come with an invuln, or you can have both take it with cooldowns, whichever you prefer. But this AoE is baited onto the nearest person to the missed tower. So because we've only soaked those 3 towers, that north tower is going to shoot on an AoE at the nearest players and spawn an ad. As long as there's only 1 ad, the boss is going to eat that ad, become satiated, and you don't have to now worry about the enrage from that. Be aware, if you spawn ads you didn't mean to, they need to be DPS down because they have a quickly start a cast and will explode, giving everybody a damage down. More than 1 ad exploding is a guaranteed wipe. After all this happens, the boss becomes targetable, and we've got a lot of familiar mechanics with 3 new Ruby Glow combos to worry about. Sonic Howl happens here. Raid-wide damage, Ruby Glow for more raid-wide damage, and the boss splits the arena diagonally down the middle. We get Topaz Stones, spawning 5 magic stones. We need to look for the side that has only 2 stones in it. We're going to fix that. The boss starts to cast Venom Pool. This targets healers with Light Party stacks. Specifically, though, this type of Light Party stack is capable of turning a magic stone into a toxic stone. Have your group stack with group 1 near to the inner one and group 2 near to the outer one. I have them positioned to the side, but you can just stand in the AoE That's perfectly fine. Nothing's going to happen. You'll guarantee that you hit only where you need to hit, and it will not go off and kill you. You don't have to worry about that. You can stand in the orange AoE. When those toxic stocks hit, here comes our poison pools, and only one side is now going to explode. Immediately after this, the boss is going to jump to one corner and cast either Searing Ray or Raging Claw. Searing Ray, like you've seen before in normal mode, is going to get reflected, so you just need to go opposite. But the harder one, the trickier one, is Raging Claw. Raging Claw is physical damage, so it doesn't get reflected. Thus, just like with Searing Ray, you have to go behind it. It's the same hitboxes, but as normal mode, but it hits 6 times. And very quickly afterwards, on some patterns, you may have to get away. There is a safe spot near the edge if you get the least lucky poison pattern like we see here, but bare minimum, your current tank needs to get out. As before these poison puddles disappear, you're going to get a Venomous Mass. They need to be away from the group so they're not going to cleave them, otherwise they need to go wading through the poison and take the dot ticks. Deal with the tank busters as normal. And then prepare for another Ruby Glow, Heal and Mitigate. Ruby Glow 5 has the arena divided into quadrants. This time we get 2 magic stones and 2 poison stones, and what we've done is we've pre-positioned with our group 1 stacked to the left and group 2 stacked to the right. If you're not already in a square with a poison crystal, adjust into one. There will always be the 2 poisons opposite each other diagonally, so we're already in our safe squares.
Okay.
In a second, the boss is going to cast Venom Squall. And
That's a lot of stuff.
Spread puddles stack, but in our very specific safe spots. Because after this cleave goes off, the poison puddles start to grow. Okay, and you can see that we spread in those positions I showed at the beginning, with melees taking the uptime spot, tank, healer, range spreading elsewhere. After the spread goes off, bait on the puddles onto where the healer is stacked. And as soon as those puddles go off, everybody moves in to get uptime of the boss for the light party stacks. Really important that you do this correctly and stay alive, because afterwards you get another 4 sets of towers. You can do this with the same priority as you did for the first set, or you can adjust based on who's nearer to what. It's up to you, but there's a lot of time to be able to adjust into these. Just make sure 2 person per stack, and don't move in too early so you don't get more ticks of the dot than you need to. Now, a lot of familiar mechanics. You get either claw to tail or tail to claw. Deal with this exactly as you did beforehand.
I think that should be pretty much it. Looks like one more
you get
thing.
A Venomous Mass and Toxic Crunch. Tank
I mean, it's not too bad. I have to see it.
Before we get our final new mechanic.
A lot of things to remember. None of them seem too hard besides Devour.
This is basically the same as Ruby Glow 4. When the boss casts Topaz Stones, we're going to get 9 stones spawning, 3 in one quadrant, 2 in all the others. Your party just needs to agree on one of the squares that has 2 in it. If you want to, you can always fix this relative to the 3. You can always go diagonally opposite, or just stand in a square. And if that one's got 2, you're good. And if not, rotate clockwise. Up to you. But just like before, we need to do 2 stacks. My group's chosen to go diagonally opposite the 3 here. 1 light party stacks on the inner crystal, the other light party stacks on the outer crystal, and Venom Pool is going to turn these into poison. Try your best to only hit 2 crystals, though to be honest, it really doesn't matter how many you hit, there's going to be room. Afterwards, the boss is going to cast another double rush. Just heal, mitigate, and pop knockback immunity, and go way away from the poison circles, and you're good to go. Don't forget to be behind the boss for the initial hit, so you don't get hit twice, as you're not going to survive that.
Okay.
There's nothing to worry about. There's no movement. It's a very simple mechanic to dodge. Afterwards, you get another Venomous Mass, and this is really the last thing that's kind of uniquely to deal with it, is to find a place to make sure your main tank's not cleaving everyone, because after this, it's all old mechanics. You get a Toxic Crunch follow-up, you get a Sonic Howl raid-wide. Venom Squall or Venom Surge, so be in spread positions. Claw to Tail or Tail to Claw, deal with that as before. Another Tank Buster combo. And then finally, the boss is going to start to cast Sonic Shatter, and you'll know this is happening when the Satiety bar is at about 5.
This is a complex fight.
Down to 0, that's essentially a nice little visual way to see when you're nearing your enrage. Sonic Shatter hits for a series of raid-wides, 5 in total. After all 5 of them are
not wrong.
the boss does 1 final cast of Acidic Slaver, which serves as the enrage.
It's still going.
That's everything to this fight. Thank you so much for watching my guide. I hope you found this useful. This is a day 1 video with day 1 strats. I have no doubt with mechanics like Devour.
So we want to look at the Devour. It's pretty... I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I would say it's pretty complicated. What is going on here? Oh, here we go. Like, it's... I mean, that's the thing with all of these fights. I don't think any one thing is complicated, but you have to do everything. It's like a set of like 12 things that you have to do perfectly for like 10 minutes, basically. Okay. And yeah, I mean, this is the only one that I would say is really complicated. There's 2 patterns. Okay, so 242. You start at 5 o'clock. After, you wait for the second jump on the zigzag. Now you go all the way around to 10. After the 6th jump, you go back. Oh, apparently you don't go back on. Okay. And we'll... or 4. Start at like 7 or 8. Immediately move. Okay. It's pretty funny. All right. I think we're starting in about 10 minutes, so we'll probably hop in Discord in like 5 minutes. Have food somewhere, there we go. None of these are really worth much. Okay. Just hang on to those and eat them later. That. Desynthesize this. See how this goes. I am not feeling super confident. But progression is a marathon and not a sprint. We will... I think we'll pick it up pretty quickly, which is really the most important thing. Getting everything set up. Anything else we need? Alright, we have our food, we have our tinctures. Oh shoot, I think I can actually upgrade my pants. Should do that. 610. Yeah. Put those. Nice. Got one of them back. This is gonna be 2 crits. Alright. I think we're ready. We'll keep on the Discord. Alright, we're gonna be going for 2 hours. I'm gonna actually just take a real quick break, be back in less than 2 minutes. Just stretch my legs a little bit before we settle in. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, I'm a little stressed. There's no reason to be. This is not a serious thing, but This is still first Savage Raid in Final Fantasy. On current content, anyway. Alright, let's hop in the Discord.
There's everyone. 2, 3, 4, that's 6.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. So I figure the first little bit we can adjust mic volumes and everything too.
Okay, awesome.
And we're missing healer, other tank. And he's on Overwatch. Okay. Alright, we got 10 minutes. He's in a match.
Dang.
I knew it would happen. It's the first day. It's alright.
I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, no, it's alright.
Every day.
Please don't let it happen every day. That's the... I'm fine with like casual and we can take our time, but attendance and like that's my one pet peeve. I will lose it. But otherwise,
Right, well, don't make a commitment for something you're not going to do. Like, that's completely understandable.
yeah, exactly. I mean, things pop up IRL. I totally understand. Like that's a different story. But it's like,
Of course.
let's see where the other healer is.
Hello, hello. Okay, sorry. I'm playing with some Discord stuff, getting my... I'm switching it to push to talk,
Oh, hello.
so
Welcome in.
I usually have it the opposite way around. Just making sure
Okay,
that's
cool. I
working.
was about to message him.
It looks like one person
Alright,
is
so
online, but they're in Overwatch right
Stone
now,
is
so
in
we're just waiting
a
for that.
Overwatch match for a little bit longer, it seems.
Okay, that still works. Okay. So I don't need
guess
to be
the first
talking much,
question
so
is,
this
did
should be
everyone
fine.
look up, or do they know the fight more or less? Like, you don't have to have done it before, but just watched a video or something like that.
Yeah, I've been watching the video, but it's also, until you get in there, it's kind of weird.
Right.
You know.
It does. It seems okay for the most part.
That's what I
But-
thought.
It also depends though on like what raid experience people have, which would be the follow-up question. And
Great experience killing Dean and only Dean.
I was gonna say if anyone's late, we just have the healer rescue them into the first hour.
Yeah, I agree with
I mean, I'm okay with that.
that. Dean might accidentally pick me, but
It's okay. If we lose one person, I think you only need one tower not soaked. So if we just lose one person, or if it's two in the same tower, we're probably fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. So I'll die and you guys can handle that.
Perfect. Well, after, if someone's confident with it and wants to Dorito it, otherwise give me like 2 or 3 and then I'll Dorito it, and I think Dorito should be fine.
Okay.
But I put a few things in strats. I don't really think there's just makes you comfortable and will help you survive.
It looks like they both have the same starting position, so
Right, they have the same starting position, but I think you can determine on 3 if it's zigzag or circle, and that determines where you start.
okay.
Right, so there's a picture in strats. That's a picture orientation of Hector's one, which seems fine. I think it'll work.
Oh, I see what you mean now. Okay.
Yeah, so if it's zigzag, you would start like in that southwest, and if it's circles, you start in like that northwest.
Okay.
Don't think
I
my
also
mic is
saw
working
a
in
strat on
Discord.
YouTube
don't
where
know
I
why.
guess if you just stand close enough to the center, you have like a second or half a second before it snapshots you, so you can just like walk around the circle. Because it's not, I don't know, the way it determines where you are for the attack is there's like slight lag.
Okay.
Solitary, if you want to message in-game chat, you don't have to message in Discord. It's up to you. And then you guys people can mute or do whatever. I don't really mind. Oh, that's right. We don't have a party together. Haha, just kidding. Here, I'll throw one up. I'll throw up a private one because I don't have everyone together yet.
Hello. It's so weird.
All right, there's one up in private. And the password is 0987. And then I can either just add everyone to my friends list, or I can just make a link shell, or we can just do it like this until we get settled and make sure that like the times work for everyone and everything.
I mean, I'm good with any and all of those.
Right.
Yeah.
I work every day until what is it? It's 9 for me now. So 2 hours before we start, I work each day. So I can really get on any day. If we wanted to add another day, I know that was in the talks.
Right.
Test.
So once stone pops up, then we can kind of check to see where we're going with that. All right. So I guess
There we go. That's
so
working.
everyone's
That was
at
weird.
least watched the video or feels
Yeah, I think that was
moderately
just me
confident.
changing stuff.
Raid
Hopefully it's better now.
experience. Does anyone not have raid experience? If you don't, it's perfectly fine.
I have very little raid experience. My FC statics were always full. So the first time I started raiding was actually at the beginning of Endwalker. I was with a static until maybe P1S and P2S, and then it kind of just dissipated. So that's all I've done.
Okay, I think this one is probably equivalent to P2, or like slightly before, like in between 1 and 2.
Okay.
But then again, it's all subjective.
I mean, I've been playing the
Static
game
is
for a
8
long
people.
time. I just never did the
Ideally.
in-game stuff.
Sometimes if schedules don't always
I
work,
didn't
it can
start till
be.
this.
It's always 8 people
Shadowbringers.
playing at a time,
Does
but it
anyone
could
else
be.
not really have experience, or does everyone kind of have a moderate experience? Does anyone have a ton of experience?
I have not. This will be my first Savage. I rated in WoW, but I've not played before. In
Okay, so
Final
if,
Fantasy.
if you rated in WoW, you're probably, you know, more or less what's up.
And yeah, I have watched
Okay,
a fair amount, so yeah, I kind of know what to expect. But yeah, this will be first time stepping in.
Okay, yeah, it's a little different. I had some WoW raiders in my last group, and they picked up pretty well. Honestly, Savage is, it's like Mythic Plus is harder than Savage, I think, is what they said.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I mostly did heroic, but yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where Heroic falls on the list.
It's easier than, yeah, it's like the middle difficulty basically.
Okay, so it'll probably equate to like around where we're starting, but by the time we get to later stuff, it might be a little more challenging.
Yep. Sounds good.
Anyone else? Or confident, not confident? You don't have to say anything. I'm just kind of trying to gauge. I've never done this raid lead thing before, so I don't really know where to start.
I mean, they all seem. I mean, I feel like all groups start
Shadowbringers.
pretty
I've done.
easy. Right, I'm gonna mute them for a minute. But yeah, sorry. So 8 people are in a static at any given, or playing. So to do it, every Savage fight, you need 8 people. So yeah, statics kind of just mean it's a group of people that play together. It could be 6 people and you bring in 2 random people every time. It could be 8 people that always play together. With just those 8 people, it could be 12 people and kind of whatever 8 are around and interested in raiding that night can do it. So it kind of varies, but most statics are usually a group of 8 people that'll meet 2 or 3 times a week. Almost like a D&D group kind of.
Something doesn't work for you guys, or you guys want to do it a different way, tell me. I'm totally up to doing strats a different way. I'm just going off Hector's videos.
But yeah, we
Team
have
X-Prog. Good
we
to
have
know.
8 right now. But yeah, everyone kind of agreed that they could commit to
Not
Saturday and Monday. If we add another night, we might
Anything.
have to pull in a 9th person.
People were telling me P4S1 was harder than 2.
But yeah,
and
as of right now, we
yeah,
have
same thing. My
exactly
static was,
8 people, and
so close to breaking
so yeah,
on
it's going to be the
PNX.
same group.
But then we got to 2 and
everyone
part 2, and it was like, oh, this
every
is
time.
fine. Okay.
Dean and I static didn't even make it past the first PNAX in P4S before we all decided to quit
Yeah.
and wait for this tier, and then we spent 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks on this tier, and then quit again. So
Well, hopefully we can get everyone feeling pretty confident and keep going. Because I would like to clear before next tier, which I think we still have like 5 months. Well, we still have like 5. It's still a fair amount of time, but with 2 days at 2 hours
3
each,
months, but okay.
that's going to be kind of pushing it.
They said January was 6.3.
depends how
I
fast we
figured-
can.
Oh, right. 6.4
Yeah,
is the
it depends on
next
how fast
raid.
we pick up
Never
on
mind.
I honestly figured it would probably be
Glad I didn't say
easier
anything.
to add like an hour to each day, hopefully, as opposed to like a third day, realistically. I mean, I don't know anybody's schedule, but
I know
mean,
Monday someone said that
probably
rating
better.
past 10
3 hours is a
Pacific
lot.
was pushing a late night for them because they have work.
oh, okay, I got it.
However, we could potentially make it
Yeah, I don't
3
know
on
what time zone.
Saturdays.
All these people are.
Okay.
I don't know any of these.
Available.
This is the
like,
first time
all
interacting
day,
with
every
anybody
day
in this
until
group.
January 3rd, then I start college
Just
full time. And
as
for
a heads up,
Christmas,
so I don't know
am
what to
planning
expect.
To go to my dad's house for 2 weeks, so
Okay,
Yeah.
Christmas, I'm gone too.
yeah. So
Yeah, same.
I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna got something to do.
Yeah, I figured that because Christmas is on that weekend, so he needs another 10 minutes.
As regards to adding an
Oh,
extra
boy.
hour, an extra day,
Starting 20
for
minutes
my
first.
situation at least,
20 minutes first.
I'm
20 minutes late. on our
I'm
first
always okay with going
night.
later.
And 7 of
Going earlier
start.
is more
'Cause
harder on me because
You
for
come
my
right from
schedule,
work,
I get
right?
off at work like at 9:30,
Yeah, it's hard to find a static at this
CST,
point in the tier
and I'll make it
because
home like
everybody
around
does it when
10,
it first
10,
comes
10
out, and
CST.
then
Okay.
they're just done with it. So
It's ridiculous.
be nice if this
I
is a good
know.
group, because I would like to do the new fights when they first come out.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Extra days and stuff like that, like I don't mind because it'll just be after work for me.
I need to be insulted.
All right. Yeah, so then once January pops around, we can figure out
Yeah, there's just one
where to go
person,
from there.
but yeah, it looks like we still only have
Sounds good.
7 in the group.
But we'll see if we can pick up another day or maybe add an hour on Saturdays or something.
I mean, at least we
See how
have stuff
far
to
we can
talk
get.
about. We probably wouldn't have started rating it anyway.
Are you?
Where are you?
I'm running around.
I
The-
am also running around.
What server?
Okay, I'm gonna run the opposite way and hope I can bump
I see
into
some.
you.
oh, does anybody need like food or like tinctures or anything?
Try to have at least 580 food. Since it's just Prague, you know, the
610.
vitality is the most important part.
Skill is
That's
not really an
okay.
issue for me, thankfully.
I mean, I got
Where you get
610.
all your
Like if
stuff.
anybody needs it.
Yeah.
A little bit of
I-
food, but I don't have any I don't have any tinctures.
we
Okay,
can-
well I grabbed extra of everything, so
Yeah, we can hold on tinks most likely.
Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking that too. That's why I probably didn't. That's why I didn't like buy any or get any.
Right. I would hold off on them for now.
Wait, what instance
Okay.
are you in?
Fuck that.
I
Oh, they
am
still
playing
think
Dancer.
Sims
Next tier, I might try to
that was
play
interesting.
Samurai or Ninja.
It'd be fine if you still bought a stack. It was just that. Well, at least
Honestly,
I was already
Dancer's-
in
using
one.
it right now.
I love Dancer.
Yeah.
Dancer is my
Right.
favorite
I wouldn't
job,
wanna-
but it's
too.
also
I'm in
Okay.
two.
one of the easiest
Okay, I'm
Food is a
jobs
different story,
because
but tinctures, I mean, not until like
you have
we're
no
basically
cast time, so you
comfortable
can
with
always
it.
be moving.
I would say
And you
tinks
have
until
3
we see an
dashes.
rage at least.
So
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then it's,
right.
it's
So,
personal
I am
preference,
Dancer,
but then
that
from
is the
there,
Dancer.
if we have no deaths and we're not
Yeah,
clearing,
still
if you
have
don't
the
use
chakrams.
tinks, then that's where the conversation
Oh,
starts
there
to
you are.
change. Because if we're not
Am I
clearing on
basic? Am I
DPS,
basic?
yeah.
Pretty basic, yeah.
but yeah, we have a Dancer, a
I'm
Dragoon.
a Targaryen. Oh my god.
So our DPS are
Nice.
Dancer, Dragoon, Red Mage, and Reaper. And
I'll
then
go
our
ahead and
healers
put
are
a,
White Mage and Sage. And then we
I
have
can
a
either put a thing
Gunbreaker
in chat
tank.
later, or you guys can DM me about what you have or what you need for still
And then we're
from the
missing
raids,
one more tank.
but
Um,
probably doesn't matter for the first little bit.
so yeah, that's the other thing. So it's always 8 people. It's always 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. And it's always 2 melee DPS and 2 range DPS. Some mechanics require that. So that is how a static is structured.
Because that's not how BIS works.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, so that's the main thing. But I figured everyone knows that. And if they don't, congratulations, you learned something new. Then yeah, the DPS check, it's, what is it? It says unsalted what it was. It was actually pretty low. It doesn't, even P6 was okay on DPS. P7 is really where it jumps up. We need 49,400 DPS to clear before Enrage. And P4 was like 47.5 or 45, I think. So with the gear scaling, it's totally fine.
Accidentally made a Targaryen cat girl. It's alright.
I don't know what that means, so.
You ever watch Game of Thrones?
No.
It's
You
like
know
that
who
name
Daenerys-
sounds familiar.
You know who Daenerys Targaryen is?
Get it, bro. Let's get that dub, bro. Who's ready for it? Let's go.
Welcome in.
You're the one who's late!
No, I'm not. I came here 10
No,
minutes.
We're all
earlier.
early.
Fuck.
All right, the PF is up. I have it set to private.
Yeah, I got
Password
you.
0987.
Shit, let's get that dub real quick. You know what I mean?
So here, we'll do
Need easy, quick games.
check.
Oh, that's why I was late
I
though.
feel like there is always one person who's been
I
doing
suck at
something.
FPSs. I'm like bronze 5.
I'm not playing ranked until they fix the stupid ranking bug.
Oh. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I keep on going from gold to silver. It's not,
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
keep on
like,
winning all my
Dancer
games.
has
like,
the
top
lowest
100 you getting,
DPS
like,
of any
bronze
job,
five.
unfortunately.
Like, you can't tell me that's on purpose. You can't tell me that's on purpose. That's a fucking bug. And I ain't playing that shit till it's fixed.
But that's kind of why I love it. It's a support job.
Oh yeah.
it's
Who
support
needed
jobs.
food? I can meet you somewhere.
I got
Yeah, if you need-
95.
I
If you
probably
need-
Carrot
need
pudding.
food.
If you need food,
Okay.
go ahead and meet wherever you guys need to meet. And anyone who needs food, tell us. I think Thomas and I can both get it.
Yeah.
Dean and I are doing the Manderville Mambo. Yes. In
Oh.
Radzahan on Diablo.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say I don't know what server you guys are on, so.
Okay,
Still
wait,
aren't in
can you-
sync.
I'm gonna.
On my screen, we're perfectly in sync.
Well, that's how that works then.
Manderville.
I've been getting some good screenshots.
Oh yeah, you better send them to me.
Okay, so who was it that needed the food?
Dean.
And okay, what y'all are on Diablo? You said.
Diablos,
Yep.
yes.
Does anyone
Alright.
else? Anyone else need food?
You know, no, I don't. You know, I'm never gonna get over the fact that Whisper calls Diablos Diabolos. Like, yeah, I've been
Diabolos.
thinking of leaving
need anything over
Diabolos.
there.
Excuse me, what's Diablos? Have you never played Diablo in your life?
I thought it was called Diabolos.
Right, Diabolo.
Yeah, like Diabolo. The whole time, no, I was pronouncing it right, calling it Diablos. But now people say no, it's Diabolos. Diabolos. Diabolo.
Bro, these pronunciations.
Ever since then, I can't go back.
It can be cross server.
Now you're
It
pronouncing
has to be
it
on
wrong.
the
It's
same
Diabolos.
data center. So any server on
I've been
Crystal,
saying it like that just to
you can
for the
enter.
memes. It's so hilarious.
You say it
Yeah,
for the memes
anybody
and it
that you can
sticks.
enter a raid with, you can
Right.
make a static with.
Oh, hop on Diabolos.
But yeah, anybody that has the little flower,
Stone, are you
thing here-
in game right now?
I think it's supposed to be like a branching node, but that basically means they're not on your server.
Okay.
So it's mostly
Alright,
Brynhilder,
so where...
but
Look at this
I think we
cute
have
little
four
elephant.
Data center
Brynhilder,
is from
four
the login
Diablos.
screen. Right click your character name and then visit data center.
So I'm gonna add this
I
here.
couldn't help but notice about
This is
45
a
seconds ago that it's kind of cheeked up.
DPS
yeah, yeah,
meter,
do
so you can
damage.
kind of see DPS just to see how much damage we're doing.
Yo,
Y'all are at the hand?
Razahan. Razahan.
Where at?
We're in instance 2. Remember, there's 2 instances.
Oh, no, I'm in instance 2.
Okay, then we're right beside. We're staring at an elephant. Yeah, we're staring at.
What's this?
Oh, the elephant's gone.
Oh, I'm over at the
Watch your
Aetherite.
flies.
Oh, there you are. Come here. Bean's over here. I don't
Oh,
even
there
see
you
it.
are. I don't know why you aren't a different color like your names. Oh well.
When it's a cross-world party, it defaults to just not being in a
see,
party.
look at-
Cross-world, the
Oh,
UI
okay.
in this game is kind of garbo.
Okay, I was sitting here going like, I don't see
If anyone needs a gear repair too in the instance, I can repair for you. So don't leave without saying anything.
Nice. Do you want money?
No. Also, what class are you playing?
Sage.
Okay. Oh, I don't have mind
I
tinks.
want money. I want money.
Alright,
Do something for it then.
Oh no.
see if this goes.
Okay,
Hey, I could bend down real quick.
I have carrot pudding.
Oh,
I have 95. I'm good.
okay.
Hey yo.
Do you need
I got.
tinks?
Yes, I do need
Okay,
pink.
so
Okay.
have the Discord
got some
sharing
good material I
working.
could use.
Perfect.
Good
Alright,
material.
I think we're good.
Some of the best service you ever had.
Alright, I think we'll get started in a couple of minutes. We're almost there.
Yep. Solitary. You are healer. Well, I don't have any healer tinks, but you can have food.
I still
Just
have
waiting
some.
on the
I don't-
person to get in the
You guys
party.
still have some grade 6
It's-
left over.
Better to be in Discord
Don't
and not
worry
in the
too much
party.
about tanks. The main people who need tanks should be me, Thomas, Willow, and Celestia. Everyone else would be backup tanks, honestly.
Damn, I'm done up.
Okay,
Oh,
was it just
I'm
you
gonna put
three?
tinks
Okay,
on.
cool.
Alright, I'm here.
Not had to
Alright,
use tinks
I'm-
before.
Damn.
You're-
Over here
You're-
moonwalking.
You're on Crystal, right?
Yeah, I'm on crit.
Wait, we're all on Crystal though. No, wait.
Yeah, I'm on
Wait,
Crystal, yeah.
Okay. So
in.
I have a private PF up. It's just I just put P5S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot, you know.
No, you're good.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Brain.
What are you doing?
All right. Solitaire is gonna be RB. Grab drinks.
Are you
anything.
figure eighting?
Doing something.
Are you figure eighting?
There we go. Alright.
The double
Our
moonwalk.
Dark Knight is here.
Need I say more?
We have
Need
the
I say
edgiest party possible.
more? Coming. Yup. Yodi. Gang. I need to stop doing that.
You definitely sound like you're a male aura. Well, are you?
No.
Check the adventure plate.
I don't think I can. I can't from
Nah,
party
you
member.
can't.
No, because you're from
you-
a different data.
Honestly,
No,
this
you
is a
can.
pretty
I-
edgy
Oh,
outfit for a
but
dancer,
you're
even.
not. Oh my god.
Also,
How y'all do that? What?
Push O. It's normally bound to O,
Oh.
and then you can just right click everyone's names.
Oh shit, I gotta fix my adventure plate since I literally fancied 20 minutes for this. Well, actually, 30
Alright,
minutes.
let's
now.
check out our people.
Let me go
Everybody's
fix that.
adventure plate.
I forgot what I said. Oh my god. I'm
There's
sexy.
us,
I
our
know.
dancer,
I was gonna say I forgot what mine was.
our
I
dragoon.
mine's boring.
I swear I have seen you before. That adventure plate looks so familiar, Thomas.
Our
Oh my
Isn't it-
god,
Red
bro.
mage.
Thomas is
Yeah,
out of
rude.
here, bro.
Isn't
No.
it? Is Omnia rude?
It's not the same order,
cosplay
sorry.
24/7?
Alright, let's just go down. Our
How you like that
Gunbreaker.
Bugatti?
There we go. Now I fixed my adventure plate. Yeah.
What color is your
Our
Bugatti, Thomas?
white mage.
My what?
What color is your Bugatti?
I have no idea what that is.
Our red mage.
Car.
That's the expensive ass car.
Oh,
I was thinking
Our
more of like a
Reaper.
rude cosplay
Apparently-
than a.
you know what?
Plays primarily dancer.
That's funny.
I thought
We
I
just
thought-
had
Gotta love a good red.
we just had a glam show, and everyone's like, "You should go as Rude," and I was like,
You
"That's the
should.
obvious choice."
It's a pretty cool outfit, honestly.
I mean, would you rather go as Andrew
like that
Tate
character
or Rude? I
design.
would pick Rude. Anyway.
Our sage. It's marked as an
Honestly, I would pick
astrologian.
Rude any day
And
over
our Dark Knight,
Andrew Gate.
who's marked as a red mage.
That's-
Alright.
You know what? Now I'm gonna.
Interesting. People have not
That's gonna be
updated
stuck in my
their...
head. Like I'm never gonna unsee that now.
Yeah, it has
Oh shit.
like a
Oh, you
bit
got the
punk, a bit
glasses,
boy
the
band.
glasses. Yeah, there we go. Take off the hat now. You gotta take
Alright.
off the hat.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw up a ready check.
Gotta take
But
off the
I
hat.
wanna.
Yeah, thank you. I do
There
like
we
this
go.
outfit.
Oh no, you gotta put the glasses
Oh.
back on. Yeah, there we go.
I did it for
Yeah, I
the
always
raid
wear
series I
shades
was
because
on.
like I made my
It'll make
character
sense
as
later.
close
but
as IRL me as I
yeah,
can,
wanted
but
a like,
hires
kind of light and shadow
just have awkward heads,
theme.
and you can't make their eyes any bigger. So my solution was just
Yeah,
to
the
always wear
weapons
glasses.
worked out pretty well.
Fires.
I still like the crystal outfit that I had.
I'm a Highlander.
That was gold and blue.
Everyone
but
has food, right? It's the last check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're going in. Oh man, my brain is empty.